With so many indie titles getting optioned for a show or movie, I thought it would make a great video to really mine all the data and see which ones are actually likely to come to the screen and which ones of those have seen a dip in prices since the first announcement. Stay tuned.
Bry's Comics.
All right, first off, we're having a flash sale at bryscomics.com. Use code FLASH15 for 15% off everything on the website, 24 hours only. That's today when this video drops on Tuesday at noon till tomorrow, Wednesday at noon. Use code FLASH15 for 15% off everything in the store. Tons of new inventory, awesome spec books, cover lovers, key issues, all kinds of really great stuff. You may want to hit pause and go check it out and see what's there because stuff usually sells pretty quick when I do this. And while you're there, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter because we're only a couple days away from drawing for September's winner for this awesome Spider-Gwen slab. And so this is the next installment for the Key Collector app collaboration. Use code BRYSCOMICS to download a free full 2-week trial of the Key Collector app. You guys, you really got to get on this app. If you're in the spec game at all, it's pretty much imperative that you have this app. I'm really surprised at how many people have commented that they haven't heard of it or they haven't used it. I thought everyone was on it because it's such a valuable tool and a valuable resource. So the fact that some people still aren't on it means that it will give you an edge if you're on it. So use code BRYSCOMICS to get a full free 2-week trial. And also, we got the 8K giveaway going up. Subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, like this video, and you're in it to win the 8K giveaway. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll go over all of the prizes. There's tons of prizes. There's going to be 2 winners. So let's jump into this list. And I've said it before, I've said it multiple times, but it's important to repeat that when a title is optioned, all that means is that a studio has purchased the right to the source material to see if they can make a show or movie happen. It's not a guarantee that it's going to happen, and in many cases it doesn't happen, but it does mean that the story is good enough for a production company or studio to take a risk on it. So first on the list we have Paper Girls #1. This is the first appearance of Erin, KJ, Mac, and Tiffany, and it's about a group of girls who get caught in between 2 factions of time travelers at war with one another. And here's the chain of events that we've had for this book. In July of 2019, Key Collector had an exclusive announcement that Paper Girls was optioned for a TV series, and then it wasn't until July of 2020, a year later, that it was officially announced at San Diego Comic-Con that Amazon ordered Paper Girls for a TV series. So that shows you how valuable it is to have Key Collector. It gives you a whole year to be on the hunt for these issues before they really spiked when it was officially confirmed. And then in April of 2021, Paper Girls lead roles were cast, which we saw another spike. So let's hop into the computer and take a look at the sales chart for this book. All right, so here we are on GP Analysis to look at some sales data for Paper Girls #1. And this book is a really good example of what we get with option indies a lot of times is a bunch of different announcements and a bunch of time goes by and a bunch of different buying and selling opportunities. As you can see here in 2021, there was a high sale of $267 and a low sale of $64. And I remember seeing this book selling consistently for under $100 throughout the past couple years. And when you look at this sales chart here, it's really interesting that these sales coincide almost directly with what we have on Key Collector announcements. So as we can see, July 2019, Key Collector Comics had an exclusive announcement that it was optioned for a TV series. They were the first to bring this news. And then in July 2020, it was officially announced. So a year later, so you'd have had a jump on the official announcement by a year if you're subscribed to Key Collector. And it was officially announced at San Diego Comic-Con that Amazon ordered Paper Girls for a TV series. And then almost a full year later, the Paper Girls lead roles were cast, and that caused the prices to spike. And we haven't heard anything since. Here we are in September, and I think we are right around the corner from another announcement for Paper Girls. If we look over here around June of 2019, July 2019, we saw a spike. That's when that first announcement came across Key Collector, and then it went down. And then in June of 2020, the official announcement at San Diego Comic-Con, the price skyrocketed with a high sale of $270, and then it went down. And then there was another announcement. The lead roles were cast in April, and the prices spiked again, and then it went down, and we're right around the corner from it going up once again with more announcements that will come across the Key Collector app. So this is, as you can see, just good buying and selling opportunities. It's good opportunity to buy here when price is cool, good opportunity to sell here when they were high. And then you can buy back in when it goes down again and then sell when it's high. And right now we're at a time where you can buy back in or buy in for the first time. And then when the show actually comes out or trailers are released, you can sell it at a peak. And this is a really good point to make, and something that you're going to see a trend in this video. When a series gets optioned, we see a spike in prices, and then time usually goes by and the prices come down. Then there's another announcement and prices go back up. Some time goes by and the prices come back down. Another announcement, time goes by, the price comes down, and then the show actually comes out and prices really spike. So as you can see, there's tons of different buying and selling opportunities, tons of different peaks and valleys. And it's important to keep that in mind when you see these titles getting optioned, because the trends really are kind of predictable. The big wild card is timelines, right? Like sometimes it takes a show a long time to come to fruition. Sometimes it happens much quicker. So that's really the wild card in all of this is the timelines. But there's almost always the same trends: announcement time, announcement time, announcement time. All right, next up we have God Country #1. This is a 6-issue series by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw about a man who travels across the country to care for his ailing father and the storm that changes everything. There was an announcement on Key Collector back in August of 2018 that there was movement with this series and that it was getting its own movie. And then in June of 2021, we got confirmation that Sweet Tooth co-creator Jim Mickle is to direct the film for Legendary. So this movie is coming, and right now prices are cooling off. Let's jump into the computer to take a look at some sales and current listings. And this is a good example of one of the ways that Key Collectors is so useful as a tool for stuff like this, is you get all of the information and all of the data that you need to make informed purchases all in one place. So Key Collector sent an alert in August of 2018, and it wasn't until June of 2021 that we actually got confirmation that Sweet Tooth co-creator Jim Mickle is to direct the film for Legendary. So if we go to GP Analysis and take a look at these prices for God Country #1, CGC 9.8, here back when in August, when Key Collector sent the alert, prices peaked at $250, whereas before then, you could pick this up all day for $40-50 in a CGC 9.8. The alert goes out, it goes up to $250, and then it comes back down. Okay, and this is something we see all the time when the hype dies down, and it's something to keep in mind when making these purchases is your timing, because you can see it came back down. You can pick up copies for $100 all day. There's so many opportunities to get this book for under $100. And then here's where the other announcement came, that there was actually a director attached with an average price of $305 and a peak of $370, and we're currently in a cooling stage. It's come back down. So let's take a look over at Key Collector again. So this is cover A, because if you click on the variants here, it shows you all of the variants for issue #1. So we have a cover B, which I think might be kind of a sleeper, although people always prefer cover A. And then we have these 25th anniversary of Image Comics variants that were inserted randomly in their 25th anniversary blind box. So we have the Virgin version of it, which is the most rare and the most expensive for all the God Country variants. And then there's a black and white sketch and a full cover sketch. And then we have these subsequent prints. We have a second print, third print, and a fourth print. And all of them have low print runs. See 5,000, 4,500, 4,500. And these might be good options right now, especially when you look at what is currently available. So over here on eBay, if we look at sold items, you can see that most recently one sold for $250, the cover A in a 9.8, and here's that cover B variant sold for $88 in a 9.8. Here's that cover B again for $67, $187 for cover A, $41 for the second print. Here's one, a 9.8 sold for $27. It cost this person more to get this graded than they sold it for. That's a steal of a deal. So I think the move to make here on this one is to set a search on your eBay for auction items and wait for no reserve auctions for this book. And, it could be another year or two before another announcement comes, certainly before the movie actually comes out. Another good move to make probably on this one is to search for just non-CGC options and look at raw books. See, I'm sure this one here is going to sell for, probably not much more than cover price, but there's plenty of inventory here there's that fourth print that just sold for like $200 for $30. Buy it now. So there's lots of inventory of raw books that you can pick up raw. Make sure you try to, ask a lot of questions to the seller, make sure it's in good condition, and then slab it yourself. And that might be another option to go for this book to maximize your ROI. Next up, we have Fear Agent #1. This is a series about a drunken Texan who travels the galaxy exterminating aliens as one of the last representatives of the once great Fear Agents. It's inspired by EC Comics' best-known genres of horror, war, and sci-fi, and the copies ordered by retailers were only 7,643. And back in June of 2020, we got an announcement that a pilot script was finished. But this year, The Hollywood Reporter announced in January of 2021 that Seth Rogen and David Sandberg have teamed up to adapt the Rick Remender written comic Fear Agent as a series, and Amazon has won the bidding war to pick up the rights to the title, beating out Peacock, HBO Max, and TNT. So the fact that there was a high dollar bidding war to secure the rights means it's way more likely to happen than some other option indies, which can be optioned for sometimes very little money. And I, for one, am a huge fan of anything Seth Rogen. I'm so looking forward to this coming to fruition. You can definitely count me in on this one. The Drunken Texan Traveling the Galaxy by Seth Rogen. I'm in. When the announcement came that the pilot script was finished back in 2020, we saw a high sale of $400 for CGC 9.8, and they have come down considerably since then, the most recent sale being $150. And there are hardly any graded copies at the moment, and it's a really rare book in general with only 7,000 copies originally ordered by retailers. So I think the move here is to buy it raw and slab it yourself. And be on the lookout for the Ashcan, which is way more rare and valuable. Next up, we have Mystery Girl #1. This is a series about a woman with knowledge of everything and has no idea how she came to possess the ability and what has occurred over the past 10 years of her life. And in March of 2021, we got an announcement on Key Collector that an adaptation is in development for Netflix with Tiffany Haddish in the lead role and MCG directing. So, the reason I think this is more likely to happen is because we have all these extra details. Not that it was simply optioned, but that there is a celebrity cast in the lead role and a director attached. And all of these things lead me to believe that it will take place, but prices have cooled significantly since March, with near mint copies selling on eBay for around $10. Next up, we have Department of Truth #1. And of all the books mentioned in this video, I think this one is the most likely to happen, almost a sure thing because of the fan hype around it and the competitive bidding war that happened to secure the rights to this property. Tynion talks about it all the time in his newsletters, and we've seen this book cool off significantly recently, which I think can be accounted for two reasons. One, there haven't been any announcements of late, and if it's not in the news, it's cooling off. And two, there's a lot of copies of this book out there. This book had a huge print run of around 100,000 copies. There's over 20 variants for issue #1 alone, and there's just a ton of inventory out there. But don't underestimate the strength of the market and Hollywood. I think this book could hold value if the show does the series justice, regardless of the print run. And it wouldn't be the first time that we saw a book with a print run like this fetch a pretty penny. This book was selling for around $200 for cover A in a CGC 9.8 at its peak, and there have been dozens of sales recently for under the $100 mark. And I think if you can get it for under $100, you're in pretty safe territory. My picks, though, are the #1 secret variant, which saw a peak of $320 this year and a low of $120 this year. So if you can find that around the $150 mark, I think that's a steal. And the 1 in 100 is a money book. It's the most rare of all the #1s for Department of Truth, not counting exclusives. And we saw a high of $1,200 for this book and a recent sell as low as $710. The driver on this one is the cover homage to Something is Killing the Children, and of course the rarity of the book, because looking at what's available on the market, it's pretty slim pickings. Don't forget to download the Key Collector app if you haven't already. Use code BRYCECOMICS to unlock a free 2-week trial. You really need to get on this app, guys, if you're in the spec game. Sign up for the newsletter at brycecomics.com, right around the corner from drawing a winner for this month. and then we'll announce next month's prize. Subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video, and you're in it to win the 8K giveaway, which will have 2 winners, and I'll go over the prizes right now. But if you're peacing out at this point, thank you so much for stopping by, sticking with me all the way to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. All right, so here's all the books so far for the 8K giveaway. Infamous Iron Man #1, Invincible Iron Man #1, The Recount #1, Ben Templesmith exclusive cover, Nice House on the Lake #1 cover B, and Berserker #1 third print foil. That goes to winner #1. And winner #2 gets all of these awesome premium virgin exclusives from Dynamite Comics. We got Sacred 6 #1 and all of these awesome exclusives. Check out that Vampy right there. Shout out to Dynamite Comics for all of these cool premium books. And winner #2 will also win these 2 slabs. Red Sonja, Birth of She-Devil #1 in a CGC 9/8 by Lucio Parrillo. And Vengeance of Vampirella Volume 2 #9, also by Lucio Parrillo. So winner #2 gets these 2 slabs and all of these premium raw books. Shout out once again to Dynamite Comics for all of these awesome books for the 8K giveaway. Link down in the description to check out everything that Dynamite Comics has going on.
Bry's Comics.